they had found 32 dead bodies, men, women, and children, stacked in 2 piles of that area. Ooh, welcome back to Really Sad, bro.
Wrong tone.
We heard that a lot of you really love the true horror crime stories, and so we are back with part 2 by popular demand. We don't have a name for this segment yet, but if you do think of something nice and catchy, please let us know.
I want to call it Aiman's Anecdotes because it's Aiman and your stories.
I don't want to lah, because I'm sick and tired of all this research. It really is quite tiring. I hope one day you get to experience it lah. So let's just call it TBA, to be announced. Okay. But for today's crime story, you know how much I love Korea, right?
Sure.
I'm a Korean woman.
Yes.
My Korean name is Sarang.
Sarang, like
yes,
love.
Yeah, because Aiman means full of love in Chinese. So like,
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to.
Oh, Aiman.
Yes, but it became Love Man. Okay, anyways, I think that a lot of people don't know that Korea is a very religious place.
What's the dominant religion in Korea?
It's majority Christian.
Oh.
Yeah, and this story that I have is quite chilling because it has to do with religion. It has to do with mass
Murder? Is it?
not even murder, suicide, and a lot of money. You're not ready for this,
Okay. I don't want to say mass suicide. I know.
Okay, let's just go straight into the story and you let me know if you
Okay.
think this person is a murderer or a manipulator.
Let's see this mass suicide Korean idol.
No, that's not idol.
No idol?
No idol. It's way before that.
Okay. Oh, wait, okay.
Yeah, moving on.
Let's go.
The title of this crime is called the Oh Dae-young mass suicide. It
cool.
began in the year 1987
Okay.
by a lady called Park Sun-ja. And she was the head of this company called the Oh Dae-young Trading Company. And what this company does is it builds like gifts for tourists. Do you know this kind of business is not that successful one, right? Because I would imagine in 1987, tourism was not booming for Seoul yet at that time. So yes, people called this lady, Park Sun-ja, the benevolent mother. And the reason for that is because she did a lot of charitable acts for orphans and homeless people. And she would hire them in her company. Because of the amount of work that she has done for charity, right? She has even won awards from the government. And people treated her like she was Mother Teresa.
So she was like this holy woman who like comes down, helps people from
Yeah. And even her husband is like a senior provincial government man.
Wait, her husband's in the government?
Yes.
And she was getting awards from the government?
For her charitable acts. Yes. Anyways, she claimed to be the chosen one from God.
Like Korean Grandma Jesus.
Yes, because you know why? She cured cancer through prayer alone. At 1987, we didn't have Google yet. So all these people, right, when you hear things like, oh my god, she cured cancer through prayer alone, I think you will get very absorbed into it.
Why?
Because like you would be having a lot of illnesses on your own, what? That you also want to cure through prayers.
Like you just automatically take it.
Yeah, because I feel like at that time, especially if I'm orphan or I'm homeless, if I see someone that can cure cancer through prayer,
it's almost like you have nothing to lose, so just go for it. You know what I mean?
So she has so many people that followed her. But the best part about it is she borrowed so much money.
From who?
From the people all around her. She just get money from every single source. Just to expand her company because she claimed she need to go and save the world. And the amount of money that she borrowed was about 8.7 million USD. Which is about 11 billion Korean won.
How do people like, you have enough, the budget, you have enough budget already, like why do you still need like $3 million?
I think that in her mind and her followers' mind, they needed to give her that money so that she can expand and help more people and save more people from poverty, from homelessness. But I wouldn't know what she used the money for. So here's when things get shaky. Okay, on 16th August 1987.
The way you say that makes me feel like that's an important date.
Yes, because this is all a whole timeline.
Okay, I want to keep... So 16 August 1987.
Yes, so the same year. An investor went to the company to withdraw his loan.
How much did he put in? Do you know?
He put in 500 million Korean won, which is a lot of money. He went there, right? He said, hey, I want my money back. Instead of getting his money back, right? He was assaulted by 13 employees. In that factory. So 13 people came down, beat him up, and forced him to sign an addendum that he will abandon his money.
So he was like, hi, I want my 500 million Korean won back. And she called like her 13 employees to
Yes.
come and beat him and force him to say, fine, I just won't take the money.
No, not just force him to say, they forced him to sign an addendum. That means after they beat him up, he was bleeding and stuff, they take his hand and make him sign the paper saying, I release my investment. Yes.
Wait, but so she had the form prepared?
Yeah, she would have to. She would have to. It sounds like she was ready to have these people come back.
Exactly. It
ask for the
sounds
money.
like they were gonna. She was like, if they come back, I know what I'm gonna do already.
Yes, yes. So anyway,
Yeah,
this
go
guy got beaten up. Of course, after the whole thing, he went straight to the police.
As he should.
And the whole company, 18 employees and Park Sun-ja were arrested for assault.
Right.
But after investigation, they got released.
Why?
I don't know whether people in the police at that time were also her
Worshipping
followers. Because even till now in South Korea, even in 2022, 2021, there have been a lot of reports of corruption within the police itself.
So you think she like infiltrated the police department?
I don't think she infiltrated, but I do believe that if her reach was that big, that she could borrow so much money, there should be some people within those areas that had that supported her. They were investigated for assault, but
And
they
then
were
they just
released.
left.
Yeah.
Wow, influencers have been getting away with things since 1987.
You know
really
what?
have.
She is the first South Korean influencer. Now, I'm going to give her another date, okay?
Okay, so we have 16 August.
Yes, this is when the guy got beaten up. And now on 25th August, Park Sun-ja, along with 80 people, had fled the area because it was the cusp of the police investigation. A lot of people, after that one guy got beaten up, right?
Right.
A lot of the investors also got a bit
freaked out lah.
Yeah, like how are we going to get our money back?
Okay.
Because they're not getting any returns, right?
Yeah.
And if they want to get their money back, they get beaten up. So all these people went to the police station and filed a report.
Against her.
Yes. So the police received multiple reports of like...
Of Park Sun-ja just...
Yes, of Park Sun-ja not returning money.
Okay.
And the total amount surpassed billions of Korean won. Of course, when they receive so many reports, they have to investigate, right? So the simple assault case got upgraded into a major fraud case.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, we're getting somewhere. Thank you.
And when the police searched Odeyang Trading, the company, the factory, right? They found 49 women and children hiding, but none of them were Park Sun-ja.
Wait, no, I just got chilled.
Yes.
So like they were
They
hiding.
couldn't find her at all. But there was, again, 80 people fled the area, right? And when they found the factory, only 49 people were inside.
Were they her employees or were they just
They
people
were her
that
employees.
she had?
Yeah, people that she hired. And out of all these people, right, no one could tell the police where Park Sun-ja was. No one.
Because they refused or because they didn't know?
They claim they didn't know. They claim they never see her. The police searched every part of the factory and they couldn't find her. Then I will give you a new character. Her name is Mrs. Jang.
What's her first name? Gochu?
I'm gonna kill you. That's not even her first name.
Gochu Jang.
So now we have Mrs. Jang. And she is the cafeteria auntie at the factory.
Oh.
Yes. Because it's a factory.
Okay.
So they need food. So this Mrs. Jang is the ajuma. She's the only person that was working in the cafeteria. The police had asked her, Mrs. Jang, have you seen Park Sun-ja? She was like, Anil? I have not seen her at all.
No, I don't like this Mrs. Jang woman. She's lying.
She's a loyal auntie lah. She's very loyal to Park Sun-ja.
I can respect her for cooking for that many people all by herself, but she's full of shit.
Okay, so now I'm gonna bring you to the height of this whole thing. So remember, 25th August is when the police did the whole investigation because it became a major fraud case and they couldn't find her at all, right?
And then she just went MIA completely, like they didn't know where she was.
Yes.
Right.
Days passed and it was 30th August now. Mrs. Jang suddenly called the police and she said, actually the people that you're looking for are all in the factory, but the circumstances are a bit odd. So the police had no idea what she meant. Because what do you mean by circumstances are odd? So of course the police with this message, they had to go and investigate.
Yeah.
Because Mrs. Jang is the only witness that knows.
Obviously.
So they went to the factory.
That's so weird.
And Mrs. Jang pointed to where they were. And it was in the area in between the ceiling and the roof. The police had to break down that ceiling, right? To actually see all the bodies. They had found 32 dead bodies, men, women, and children, stacked in 2 piles of that area.
No, wait.
Right on top. And then so when the police went there, right, Mrs. Jang told them that Park Sun-ja and 32 others have been hiding there since Wednesday, which was 26 August.
Now the timeline doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so 25th August they fled. 26th August, they came back and hid on top. And that's why the police couldn't find them at all. nowhere. Yeah.
That's smart, but that's also really f***ed up.
Yeah. And Mrs. Zhang said that she had been taking food to Park Soon-ja at least once a day, and the last time she saw her was on the 28th. That means they were alive from 26 to 28.
And then 29, 30, nothing.
Yes. And then the police also found out through autopsy that the victims were dead for at least 2 days, which makes sense.
So it lined up?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Was Park Soon-ja one of the bodies?
Yes. All the victims were clothed only in underwear and pajamas.
Okay.
Their hands and feet were tied together.
Oh, it tied?
Yeah, and cloth and rope was all around the necks. And they found gloves and drug bottles near the body. And the worst part was, the police concluded there was no sign of resistance.
So they all died willingly?
Yes.
Wait, but if they died willingly, then why do you need to tie their hands and feet?
Here's what I am guessing, okay?
Okay.
The police have concluded that the method of death was poison and strangulation. So sources say that one person would be buddied with another person, and then person A would strangle person B to death, and afterwards person A would take poison to kill himself. And the reason why there were hands and ropes, I'm guessing, either A, it could be people that were trying to run away and Park Soon-ja need to force them to stay on top. Or B, like when they strangle them, in order to minimize like
the resistance.
Yes.
Because they will like flail around.
Yes.
Oh no, that's
And okay, again I have to remember that the victims included children because they were part of the orphans that she saved.
So like, who came up with that system? So she was like,
Park Soon-ja came up with the system.
She was like, babes, I got an idea. I need to kill them all right, but I feel like we got a few still standing. So we do buddy system. Then you choke him to death.
Yes.
Right? I tie his hands for you. So it's like kinky lah.
Okay.
Then you take this, then you also gone.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I join you afterwards.
Then
I join you afterwards.
I'll see you up there, babes.
Yeah, I see
you up.
Yeah, I see you up there. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure. So then they found a lot of notes around the area.
Oh.
Yeah, and then these notes, the things that they were saying, one of the note read, the president or someone else is going for poison and water. And then the next note was, if only you kept your mouth shut, you should have kept it a secret. And then one of the other notes read, about 5 people died starting from 4 hours ago.
Why would you write? I feel like if you're gonna write something, you write like, send my love to my family or my whatever, right? Why would you write that?
So there's a lot of conspiracies, right?
Okay.
But it could be because 32 people were up there stuck.
Right.
Park Soon-ja will not let you go. Because if one person ran, everyone want to run also. But if everyone run, the police will catch them,
and then interrogate, and then they'll give up her location.
Yes.
Right.
So Park Soon-ja had to get everyone in line. She had to rule with an iron fist to make sure everyone listened to her. And these notes could possibly be letters to Mrs. Zhang, the food caterer. Because it's like their plea for help. For example, the last note said about 5 people died starting from 4 hours ago.
Like someone was writing that being like
Mrs. Zhang,
like
hello.
an update to her, just being like, hi lady.
People are dying on
Corporates!
Yes. But because the notes were up there, I don't think any one of the notes could have reached Mrs. Zhang.
They would have not
And
reached
it
her.
sounds like if only you kept your mouth shut, or you should have kept it a secret. It sounds like someone was caught trying to communicate to Mrs. Zhang, and that person was killed on top by strangulation.
So you think that like there's one person writing to update Mrs. Zhang, and then the other person saw, and then killed that, and then was like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and then the craziest thing is, right, even though the police didn't expect this kind of mass suicide, they actually found what they were looking for, which is Park Soon-ja's 3 children. She had kids, and her kids were part of this as well. And her husband didn't know. The husband was looking for the kids the entire time. Because at the same time when the Park Soon-ja was disappearing, right, her children also disappeared. And one of the reasons for the investigation was to look for her kids. There's a couple of theories.
Right.
Okay, one of the major theories is the fact that Park Soon-ja and her accomplices found themselves in too much debt. And like in Squid Game, if people could do murder and participate in a life-threatening game for that amount of money, can you imagine being in billions of Korean won debt?
Debt?
Yeah. In a debt of billions of Korean won.
No, but I mean, some people would like off themselves because they're in so much debt. I just don't understand why the accomplices had debt too, meh?
Yeah. So if let's say I was an investor, I want my money back. If I had found you and you were part of the car, I would grab you also. Again, it's billions in 1987, which could be how many trillions by now?
Yeah.
And the other theory is a lot of reports stated that the motive is actually because Park and her followers were actually using Oh Dae Young Trading Company as a front for their cults. Which means even though it was
never a real company.
Yes, they make souvenirs, but all of them, all 80 personnel were part of the cults. And none of them were actually like working for the company.
And it will be a lot easier to get money.
Yes. And because
oh my god.
And this is the reason why the report stated this, right, is because when
I have chills. I literally have chills.
Yeah, when Mrs. Jang was investigated by the police, she admitted that Park Soon-ja was the leader of a religious group, and this benevolent mothers was gaining more and more followers by the days.
And she'll obviously go for like orphans and homeless people because it's not like they have family to tell them what the f are you doing.
Yes.
Or like they have
no home to retreat back to, no shelter. They are desperate for any help they can get. After a lot of research, right, the cult name is Oh Dae Young, and it was an apocalyptic cult. And these apocalyptic cults are religious groups that predict disasters and those that attempt to destroy the entire universe. And the goal of the cult, right, was to take over the world. Because again, Park Soon-ja claimed that she was a chosen one from God and
because
that God cured her cancer. Yeah, and that because she was doing so many charitable acts to all these kids. And you know, I've been learning Korean, right? So, do you know what's the scariest thing? The company name is Oh Dae Young.
Oh Dae Young. What does Oh Dae Young?
Oh Dae Young.
Yeah, what does Oh Dae Young mean?
O is the Korean number for 5. And Dae Young means ocean. So the company means 5 oceans. Do you know how many oceans are there in the world?
Like 7?
There's only 5 oceans in the world. Yes.
She knew? I mean, she can just Google.
So she knows that there's 5 oceans in the world. She called her company the 5 Oceans because this whole time, this whole cult was trying to take over the world. And that's why they had billions of dollars. If she could have paid back the money, she could have returned it. But the reason why she couldn't return the money was because she's already using the money. So the spine-chilling thing is, if you think about it, is Oh Dae Young still active now? We will never ever know. Because the only people that got caught was Park Soon-ja. And if you think about it, right, she could have easily been okay to kill everyone and die alongside them because she knew there would be people continuing her work outside.
Oh no.
And that is the story of the Oh Dae Young mass suicide.
Now every single time I go to like Buona Vista MRT and someone like gives me a pamphlet being like, come to our like service or come to our church, I'll just be like,
Oh Dae Young!
Oh Dae Young!
Oh Dae Young!
Oh Dae Young! I'm horrified.
That's so when I was researching this whole thing with the producer and stuff, right? The thing I was so worried about is where did the money go?
Can you imagine someone's watching this video and they're like, hey, that's my church.
Oh my god, what if someone's watching this video and they're like,
they know!
Oh my god.
They know. They're on to us already.
Yeah. So we have come to the end of today's episode. Okay, let us know in the comment section below, what is your theory on this? Do you believe that Oh Dae Young is still existing right now? If they are part of
forms.
Any other cults? And yeah.
I'm like laughing, but internally like my brain is shutting down. I don't know what to say. If I walk past like someone and they look at me a bit funny, especially after this video goes up, I don't know if they probably hate my outfit or they are part of Oh Dae Young.
Wow.
You know, like I just don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think it's in Singapore?
We never know. Singapore is
was
so
around,
connected.
right? 1987?
Yeah, but back then we had Lee Kuan Yew so we were probably protected. He would have squashed any idea of a cult happening. Hello, secret society Lee Kuan Yew want to stop. You think he will allow cults, man? And if you know any other chilling true crime or horror story, let us know in the comment section below because me and the producers will spend the whole night to research on it. We'll find facts, sources, and reports. So yes, let us know. Anyways, see you next time. Already said, bro.
Follow us on our socials and we'll do more horror stuff in this as well.
And if anyone ever approaches you, remember to Google first. Don't anyhow believe strangers and comment below and see you next time.
Yes, see you next time.